Today's video is a little different. I'm not here to hype up another Korean drama or recommend something amazing. Instead, I want us to talk honestly about some dramas that had all the potential to be great, but just didn't deliver. You know those shows with a strong cast, cool storyline, and even high production value, but for some reason, they just didn't hit? Yeah, we're going there today. No hate, just a genuine breakdown of what went wrong. Let's start with Abyss. I remember being excited when this was announced. Park Bo-young and Ahn Hyo-sip, plus a supernatural concept where people come back to life in different bodies? That sounded so fresh. But the actual show felt all over the place. The plot lost itself in trying to be too many things: mystery, romance, comedy, sci-fi, and ended up not being great at any of them. The Abyss concept had unclear rules, which made the stakes confusing. Even the chemistry between the leads, which should have been a strength, felt kind of flat and awkward. And by the middle of the series, I was honestly just watching out of habit, not excitement. Then there's Backstreetrookie. I had high hopes. Ji Chang-wook in a fun, slice-of-life setup with Kim Yoo-young. What could go wrong? Well, a lot, apparently. From episode 1, it was already controversial. People called out the inappropriate scenes and the strange humor. And beyond the backlash, the pacing was slow, the plot was all over, and it just didn't have that warm or funny vibe you expect from a rom-com. The leads tried, but the romance felt so forced and underdeveloped that by the time it started progressing, most viewers had already checked out. Love with Flaws had such a promising message, a drama about learning to love people for who they are, not how they look. But the execution was just weak. The writing was repetitive, and the humor didn't land for me. The characters kept going in circles with the same arguments. Now, let's talk about Yuri-san. This one really stings because the cast was incredible. Jun Ji-hyun, Ju Ji-hoon, and a mystery storyline set in the mountains? That could have been iconic. But instead, we got some of the worst CGI I've seen in a high-budget drama. Like, it actually distracted from the story. And don't even get me started on the product placement. It felt like watching a commercial half the time. There was a solid story buried under it all, but the visuals and the constant interruptions just ruined the immersion. Even the acting felt weighed down by how clunky everything else was. Then there was Melting Me Softly. I was excited to see Ji Chang-wook again, and the freezing experiment storyline sounded kind of fun and romantic. But the pacing? So slow. The show had this cool sci-fi setup, but didn't explore it in a satisfying way. The romantic moments were few and far between, and the side characters didn't add much. It felt like a missed opportunity, more than anything. The Bride of Havoc is another one that looked good on paper, a fantasy drama with gods and romance. Nam Joo-hyuk and Shin Se-kyung had the visuals, but the story? It felt empty. The world building didn't make sense, and the fantasy elements were super underdeveloped. I kept waiting for something to happen, for the romance to feel intense or the story to deepen, but it just didn't. The chemistry didn't hold up, and the emotional pull was almost non-existent. Now, Sisyphus. The myth, this one really aimed high. Story became so unnecessarily complex. There were so many twists, timelines, and concepts thrown at us with very little emotional payoff. It felt like they were trying to be clever instead of engaging. I got so confused halfway through that I stopped caring about what was at stake. And the chemistry between the leads got buried under all that technical noise. Lovers of the Red Sky had amazing visuals and a promising setup. Historical fantasy, mythical creatures, a curse, and a love story. But again, the execution let it down. The story felt rushed, the character development didn't hit as hard as it should have, and the fantasy rules weren't clearly explained. Kim Yoo-young and Ahn Hyo-sip had good moments, but it didn't feel consistent throughout. It was beautiful to look at, but emotionally it didn't pull me in. When the Stars Gossip or Ask the Stars is still recent, and I know it had so much hype leading up to it. Lee Min-ho and Gong Hyo-jin in a space station romance. Sounds so fresh and different. But even early on, a lot of people have pointed out that the chemistry just isn't there. The humor feels awkward, and the emotional moments don't really land. I think they were going for a mix of comedy, romance, and sci-fi, but like a lot of other dramas on this list, it's just too many tones clashing at once. Whether it was weak chemistry, confusing plot lines, poor pacing, or just not enough emotional connection, they're a reminder that even the biggest stars and budgets can't always save a drama. Let me know if you felt the same about any of these, or if you actually liked one of them. No judgment here. Everyone experiences stories differently. And if you want a part 2 with more dramas that overpromised but underdelivered, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and remember, not every drama needs to be perfect, but when it's made with heart and clarity, it shows. See you in the next one.